Bwana Dr. Ndingori,
Yes.
Dr. Diangui,
Oi. Yes. How are you?
how are you?
I am very well, Captain. How are you?
Now, I said that we have the intellectuals.
Yes. And I brought you some very good ones today.
Thank you so much. I want you to take this opportunity to greet our people and let's introduce the panel because some of them yeah, are new to me. And I thank you for coming in on behalf of Come Now, Anthony. I think he's in a fellowship. Unajua sasa Come Now ni mtu wa
Yes.
mambo mingi.
Yes.
Yeah, so welcome
Yes.
and introduce yourself, and then we'll have Bwana Robert Shiori to introduce himself, and then we'll have Jesse to introduce himself too. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Captain. Once again, I am here. My name is Dr. Peter Diangui. I'm a professor at Florida Gulf Coast University in Fort Myers, but I'm originally, of course, from Nyeri, Kenya, Madakwaini village, and I'm very proud of that. And thank you for hosting us the other day with Professor Gelono, Dr. Wanyama, and Dr. Mose. But this time I brought you some very, very high-level intellectuals, and you'll be very proud. They are the other members of the group. We are all headed by Dr. Gelono Rotich. She's our boss, and we say, this is the boss. But we are a full team, and we work together as a team. So she said, let's have the others here, and the others are Robert Shirley, Jesse Mushai, and Miriam Bothe. And so this is their turn today, and I'll be here to listen to them. And I can say the question, I am like the link between the group that you met last time and the group that we have now. This is the team so concerned about international students. Thank you, Captain. Take it over from here.
Thank you so much. Bwana Robert Shiori.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very fine. I'm very fine. Thank you. Say hello to us. Tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do, and that will be good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on your program. And again, my name is Robert Thury, and I run an organization called Global Standards Institute. It's a company that does what exactly you are talking about, certifications. We certify people that they have met the standards that are there, international standards for quality, for food safety, for all the things that help people out there. We audit and we inspect and we certify various disciplines. Besides that, I am an active member of Diaspora community. I am chair of a Global Diaspora Development Foundation, a foundation that works to mentor young people so that they can be able to improve their livelihoods and lifestyles. We are based in New Albany, Ohio, and also we work with other diaspora organizations to support our communities in USA. Thank you.
That is very good. That's a very rich and healthy profile. So I know my people will be able to ask questions and even say something. If at all you have any question, it's important to ask your question. That is important. That is Dr. Robert. Thank you. Let us go to my brother Jesse.
Good evening. Do you mind if I defer to Miss Miriam? Miriam is, I think, on call.
Yeah, Miriam is.
Ladies first.
She is with us. Only that she is in class. Let me see if at all she's all set.
If not, that's okay. We can wait for her.
Yeah, we'll. Miriam, I don't know whether she can hear. She can hear me. Okay, she'll come in. I know she was in class. Right. She had told me that she's in class, but she'll be popping in any minute.
Well, thank you very much for having us this evening. We really do appreciate your time and the talents that you are using to reach out to the rest of the community. So my name's Dr. Jesse Muchai. I'm an engineer. I work for Cummins Engine Company, based in Indianapolis. I've been with this company for the last 18 years. We design small engines, 2.8 liter, all the way to 95 liter engine that drive the big locomotives that you see on the road and the big highway trucks that you see 18 and 21 wheelers on the road. So I've been part of that team for the last 18 years. Currently, I manage the North America, US, and Canada, ensuring that our service providers are technically sound, have the knowledge they need, the capability they need to service our products. So I went to school in US from my undergraduate, my master's at Virginia Tech, and my PhD in North Carolina. And one of my greatest passion is to mentor students. I reach out to, I'm a head of the technical recruiting team for North Carolina. And I go out there to recruit young engineers, especially minority. It's my passion to bring them over to Cummins, as many as we can, and not just bring them over, make sure that they stay on jobs here through mentoring circles, and hoping that they will pass the same baton to those who are coming, in future. So tonight, I thank you for part two. This is part two. Part one, like Dr. Ndiangui said, was last week with Professor Gerono, Dr. Ndiangui, Dr. Mose, and Dr. Wanyama were here last week. Mm-hmm. And we all have one common goal, led by Professor Gerono, and we really thank her for that noble cause that she started. Our zeal is to help these students who are going through challenges.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, this is very interesting. I know one of the things that I want us to drive home tonight is the mentality, and we drive a point home that you can come from Kenya and succeed in the US, either in academics or in business or in formal employment. Listen to what people who have come from Kenya are doing. So I don't know whether Miriam is able to get us. Miriam, are you in?
Yes.
Thank you so much. If you're set, just introduce yourself. Once you're ready to get on the video, let me know. Then you can come in on video once you're done. But for now, just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Then we can proceed.
Oh boy, I'm not sure where to start. I am a Kenyan by birth, an American by residency. I'm a mother of two, a wife. I'm the executive director of Imani Group of Homes. We do assisted living, home care, hospice. I'm not a nurse by profession. I am in nursing school now. At 40 years old. I'm a social worker by profession. I speak French, Arabic, Swahili, and all kinds of other languages. Mm-hmm. I came to the US on a work study program. I was a resettlement officer with the IRC, International Rescue Committee. And once my contract ended, it was a nonprofit organization. They told me I didn't have a job, but I was going to school to get my master's in healthcare administration at that point. So I finished school and I did get a job in the healthcare industry. And that's how I ended up switching from social work to healthcare. Long story short, I'm a domestic abuse survivor too, with my first marriage. We came together from Kenya. Things didn't work. I ended up, in a bad situation. The person had to go back home because of situations that all of you here understand. But I'm passionate about Kenyan international students because at that time I was a student, a mother, an employee. I had refugees that would call me in the night having babies, and I would, New Jersey, everywhere, and they're from Sudan, they're from Afghanistan, and they're in the hospital. They're not gonna have the baby. It's a male doctor, and I have to interpret at 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the night. And those are the traits that helped me. The fact that I knew an extra language, that's what sold me. So I'm big on having. I was listening to you, but I was in a class, and I'm big on when you say a student should always have something extra. When I came, my mom ensured that I knew how to braid hair. I knew how to cook, bake cakes, make chapatis, and all those things. And I hustled, and I was able to see myself through my master's program. And now going back to nursing school and running an assisted living, running a hospice company, a home health branch, a home care services branch, I see where all that started. And I'm not only a director at 40, I'm also a mentor. I felt like I just needed to be part of this group to help somebody who thinks they can't make it.
Thank you so much.
Because you can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a powerful one. I picked a few points, and I know after we finish this, we'll have a program with you so that you can talk a little bit more about domestic abuse in the U.S. or in the diaspora or in a foreign country. And I will put that one as a special program with you. So right now, once you're set to appear on the screen, let me know so that we can have you greeters. Wow, thank you. I have a double impact, Bwana Anthony Kamnao. Hi, my brother.
How you doing?
Man.
Good. You like the main guy. You're a celebrity. I'm just like, I'm busy. Let me come, even if it's 15 minutes. I can't miss your show. What amazing.
You see, I have all these people here, and then you start texting me that you're not coming. Then I was like, Kamnao is hating on me.
Now that's the reason why I say, let me take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, come and see you, because man, I don't want to be in bad books. And also talk about international young people, international students. We have great people helping. So I'm saying, man, let me cruise a captain all the way. Captain. Yes. Tumetoka mbali.
Yes, mwana wa Ingo. Sema.
Thank you. Blessed. I'm so good. In Missouri, it's raining. We are blessed just to be here tonight to talk about international student. My family is doing great. I know you've been praying for my family, and I'm awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, folks, we gave Anthony Kamnao a daughter from Kiambu, and he's taking care. You can see the change. You can see the change. Man, this guy was...
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm so proud of you. So now tell me, so that we don't wait any more time. I want to know before I give an opportunity to Robert and Engineer Mushai. Let's know Anthony Kamnao and the Men Impact Change, and not the Men Impact. The Kenyan men in the United States. I want us to know, what are we doing as a community for the international students?
Right. I thank God for the organizing committee who are there, the leaders who are here. They reached out to me, and what we've been doing is sharing and talking, having conversation, and above all, contributing what we have, contributing $100, $50. We are doing what we can, because, with the situation with COVID, but the most important thing, we are sharing in our forums. We are talking about the plight of young people, the students. We've been organizing meetings with lawyers to discuss about the options they have, and also we are excited to know the government has changed everything, because initially they were worried about going to school. They're gonna go back to Kenya. They're gonna go back to Africa, but we are excited so that we have those information. So as Kemen, we are excited to be a part of this, be on the part of the movement, and also sharing our forum. And I will continue asking Kemen, men to continue giving, because our target is 20,000. I'm praying that we can even reach 30,000. So we are doing that. We are reaching out to our men, and pole kidogo kidogo ujaza kibaba. So that's what we've been doing. Yes, sir.
No, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Dr. Chiri, let's talk about the international students and what we need to do as the body that is organizing to have these people funded and assisted. Give us a picture.
Thank you very much for giving me the time to at least share a few ideas. As you know, and has been very well explained by others, these students have been going through a lot of hardship because on one hand, they cannot be able to, they don't have a status to work in or permits to work in US, and therefore, as you know, pretty much here in US, you have to be working to be able to support yourself reasonably. So without that avenue of working, it becomes very tough. So as an organization, we've been trying to reach out to see how we can be able to help them. And not only for this particular time, we are looking up to actually making more of long-term plans for this kind of situation, because every time there is an issue in the community, people come together and see how they're going to help. But we are hoping that through the efforts that we are making together as a community, we can be able to come up with more long-term solutions, because students will still be coming here. Other crises may come in the community. So we need to have long-term crisis management plans, because that is the only way as a community we can be able to survive very well. We know the other diaspora nations that are doing very well. And so what actually we are doing with a small group that is outside of this team is to see how we can be able to empower our people, and so that we can be able to speak with one voice. We know other nations that do very well, and they help their students very well. Mm-hmm. For instance, students from India, students from China, students from Philippines, students from South Korea, students from even Israel. These are countries where the diaspora helps their students very well. So what we are doing is to study what they're doing and be able to put some of the strategies together, so that we can also, as a diaspora, help our people very well. Not just students, but even the community. Mm-hmm. Because we know that if we help the community, that community is going to help the students. So this focus is two-pronged, helping the students on one hand, but also having long-term plans to empower our community so that they can also help the students.
Thank you so much. Bwana Mushai, I don't know whether you have something to add on that.
Well, he said really the core of our mission. So as a small team, our goal really is to meet the immediate need. And so the target of 20,000 to raise within a month, 30 days, we have 10 days left. I'm a very action-oriented person, and I'm looking at where we are. We are at about, maybe 30%. That's not very promising. However, I have hope that we can address this issue, be able to hit the target, and maybe even exceed the goal that we have, so that we can meet the needs of those students. Let me give you a quick example. Mm-hmm. I had a call from a pastor today who had received a call from a student in California. And of course, because of COVID-19, they are not attending class. She cannot go home. She doesn't have a place to stay. And this pastor raised the money to fly the student from California to Cleveland, Ohio. So these are big needs. I'm trying to figure out, how do I help him now? He has an extra mouth to feed in his house and all that. So I'm appealing to everybody. Whoever can, please help us reach this target. There is a committed team, very accountable, very, very clear path to how we distribute this money. And so my appeal is to everybody with respect to raising the funds.
Thank you. Miriam, thank you so much for coming. Tell us how people, the community, should come in and assist. In that question, please note that many of us Kenyans tend to shy away from assisting financially because we take it that, and I want to say this as a community, we take it that ni nyinyi mnataka kujisaidia ama kujifaidi. You know, there's that particular mentality. No, I'm going to do it my own way. Or rather, we shy away from assisting people based on our tribes, based on our political affiliations, based on where we go to church, based on where we live, and we think that international students are not a part of us. So can you please hammer the gospel home on how to help and where to channel the finances, and the need for a community engagement, and then we'll come to come now. Miriam.
That's a wonderful question, and I'll approach it in from a Christian perspective. I think Christ has mandated us to help, and I'll leave it at that. The greatest gift that this country has given us is to welcome us and to allow us to prosper. You can be anything you want to in America. Now, from a professional perspective, I'm a social worker by profession. I graduated from the University of Nairobi with my undergraduate in social work. And helping people is something, to me, it comes without even thinking. And sometimes I've made mistakes of hosting people that, you know, are bad people. But in Swahili, they say, tenda mema, nenda zako, you know. I personally don't believe you ever go wrong in helping somebody. But my mantra in life is help somebody, but also teach them to turn around and help somebody else. So it's gonna start from the mind, where we accept and see it as something that we need to learn. We have inherited help. None of us are self-made in this country. Somebody must have held our hands when we first came to America. I remember looking for a room when I first came. I was homeless for 3 days when I first came to America. I didn't know where until somebody held my hand and helped me find a room. And I had roommates. I ended up having my own apartment and then my own house, you know. So somebody somewhere has to help you. I don't know where the disconnection comes in, where we think that after somebody has helped us, it stops there. There's an ad in the ad console always talks about helping. So I think it starts in the mind that if you hold somebody else's hand, don't just hold them and help them go through what they need to go through. Teach them too to turn around and help somebody else. I don't think that it's wrong to help somebody else. And to help somebody, teach that person to also teach somebody else to help somebody. Now, there are things, you know, if you ask me what I did and how I helped a lot of refugees, there's so many benefits. I meet some of them, they graduated, they're in nursing school, they're going to medical school. Some of them, I meet them in jail, but they're learning their lessons. Nobody is assured of life. Nobody knows about what's going to happen tomorrow. But if you take a risk, then I think most of us fear taking that risk of helping somebody. Yes, we've been burned before. Yes, I've hosted students that came from Kenya. I mean, uncountable ladies, and some of them turned around and did things that I never would have, you know, thought. But that doesn't stop me from helping. I still go ahead and help. So it should be a culture And I think I love this group because it's not only about money, but it's also about a culture of helping, because nobody's paying us a penny. Nobody's telling us to, we're supposed to be on payroll. No. I was busy with somebody else, with a client that needed something from me, somebody that didn't have to. And I was in a class, and you have to divide your time. I have a 5-year-old that just might decide, Mommy, I need this. And it's only Mommy that needs this. But I'm dedicated to give this time for this particular session that we're having, so that it benefits somebody somewhere who maybe I've never met. But because somebody helped me, it's an obligation for me.
Thank you.
So it's a culture. It's a culture that we should start if we haven't started already. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know how we are going to address this, but I requested that we put the links for the assisting on the Facebook page so that people can know how to give. So somebody, I see Professor Gerono is up there. Thank you so very much, my sister Miriam, for that wonderful message. Bona Robert, how do we entice the community to come together for the international students, and what is the benefit? Because most of us link, hey, what am I going to gain? What is the benefit for an educated community, and especially when we speak of international students?
Thank you again. That question is so much critical. Actually, it's almost like the heart of what we are talking about here. We really need to engage the community, because we know very well that if we come together in whatever way and assist each other, that is going to have some ripple effect. Because it's always said that, you know, even the richest person is not happy when your neighbor is poor, because that poverty of that poor person is going to affect you. So we need to understand that this student who is begging may tomorrow be your solution to the problem that you have. Mm-hmm. In fact, we need to invest in our students so that tomorrow we are assured of our future, because these are the people who we need to entrust into things that we are going to be doing in the years coming. So it is an investment that we need to look at. We are investing in our people. In fact, if you give that $10, $20, $100 to help that student, you are investing in the community, in the future of our diaspora, and even in the future of our motherland, Kenya. Because that student, once they finish college here, they may go back to Kenya to help a community there. And when they go there, they don't just help their immediate community. They may be assigned to a district or a division away from them, and they're helping other Kenyans. So what we need to do is look at the bigger picture. Coming together and helping our people is not just wasting money. It is actually investing in our own future, because these are the people that we are going to rely on in later years. They're going to become engineers, they're going to become lawyers, they're going to become doctors, they're going to become all those other things that are necessary for us as a community. Because we need to look at what other diaspora nations are doing. They're investing in their own students so that they can be able to leverage and become better. So that is the only way we can be able to do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before I come to you, Bwana Anthony, because I want you to tell us how, I want you to speak to the community as a community leader. Bwana Jesse, engineer, we as a Kenyan community have seen a society or a situation whereby our young people are not deeply investing in education as compared to the Indian community, the Nigerian community, whereby you go to a place and you find Dr. ABC and so many of them. And you can give us your experience, your personal experience about how you came and how you went through education and how that has benefited you, and then speak to our people the importance of following your vision to an extent you get as educated as possible.
Thank you, and a great question. So I have a story, right? Left Kenya, a young man, well, at 27, if you can call that a young man, and came here to start all over again. Did my undergraduate in engineering, Auburn University. Went through hell to graduate as an alien, right? Where you could not qualify for a penny because you are an alien. Nevertheless, I persevered, returned home after 15 months, got married, brought my wife here, raised 4 kids, graduated from undergraduate, went for a master's program at Virginia Tech, graduated from there. I couldn't find a job. I had to maintain my status. I looked for a place where I could go for a doctoral program. I went for a PhD in mechanical engineering in North Carolina. And after graduation, I got hired right away. Actually, they kept my job for 6 months while I was waiting to defend my dissertation. Cummins, a Fortune 500 company, 60,000 employees based in Indianapolis, Indiana. All over the world, I have traveled this world through Cummins, China, Korea, Africa, just to represent my company. I give that story because it's not my achievement, but achievement of many others. I stand on shoulders of other giants. There are people who held my hands when I felt like I want to quit. I remember going to tell my professor one time at North Carolina A&T, I quit, I gave up. This PhD is taking too long, I don't have money. But I persevered, I stayed focused. As a father of 4 children, last born 20, first born 28, I have a passion to see that our generation, the ones that we are raising in this country, succeed and go way beyond where we are able to reach ourselves. And one way to do that is to stay engaged with your own children. Stay engaged with the community. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Stay engaged raising the children of our own people. Be a mentor. Who are you mentoring today? Who are you mentoring today? And if you look at our community, we tend to stay very, very close. Guard our family. If there are weaknesses or strengths, we want to celebrate. Weaknesses, we want to keep them around ourselves. But I urge my community, when it comes to your children, our children, even the international students, please share. Find somebody whom you can share with, because times are tough for this generation, really tough, and they need mentors. Ask yourself this question. 10 years, 5 years from now, when those international students or our own children start telling their story, the story of COVID-19, what impacted them, when they tell their story, what part will you have played in their story? That's my question to everybody. Your own children, when they tell their story that you came from Africa and you worked double and triple shifts, when they tell their story, what part will you have played in their story? Will they also do double shifts and triple shifts in this land of opportunity? Or will you ensure, doing your very best, that they get to the highest that they can in this world, in this country, in the corporate world? They can get there. Yes, it's challenging because of who we are, but you still stand out and go above and beyond what everybody else can do. It's possible, it's doable. Thank you.
Awesome. Anthony.
Yes, sir. Oh wow. Hey, that's powerful. It's powerful.
What do we need to do? What do we need to do as a community? Speak to your brothers and sisters, our parents. Tell them something, the importance of engaging and putting some folks in school.
Right. I want to be careful on what I say, because I know you're my friend and I know you're a great guy. We've worked together, and me and you have a conversation on the side. One of the biggest issue is, how can we step up and help the living? That's my question. When we have this mentality among our community that when somebody dies, we give them 40,000 and they're dead. It's okay to help people to ship their body back to Kenya, all that. But now we are calling people to help those who are leaving. Students were here and people are dragging their feet. I think our mentality is kind of twisted, we as a Kenyan community, because if I'm alive right now and I'm an international student and you don't want to help me, and then I'm not going to die, but when I die, you take my body. It's crazy the way we do things. So I think as a community, we need to change that mindset, and it starts now. Like my brother is saying, Robert, that we need to unite. How do we unite? By helping international students. So if you're out there, if you're out there and you're a Kenyan, step up and send money. Let's make it by tomorrow $20,000. This mentality of helping people when they are dead is backward. Help this international student who are alive. They need our help. They need our support. And I like that thinking that we're going to expand and start helping ourselves in other areas. So my biggest concern about our community is that we are not united. Our thinking is not, it's kind of different. And especially diaspora, the way we think, tribal, or they're not from my tribe, or Kamnao is from Luoland, or Kamnao is from Kikuyu land. So I think parents who are here in the United States need to step up. And I thank God for my brother, Pastor, who's welcoming a student in Ohio. Thank you. Let me know what you need. I'll chip. I know I've already chipped, already given some money, but I want to give more. So my brother, Captain, we need to have this conversation of unity. We need to have this conversation. How do we help our student? We need to have this conversation. How do we change our mindset? We need to have this conversation. The parents who are here, how can they work smart? My brother said very good. We need to be educated. We need to get better. And if we can't support this international student who are pursuing their dreams and to get educated, how can I be blessed? I have a 6-month-old. I have to support this international student. So I think our mindset sometimes is twisted.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I saw Professor Gerono has just posted how we are going to finance, and that one will be there. We have the GoFundMe, and I want you to speak about this, Dr. Diangui, and then Miriam is going to speak to the people, the young people out there, the importance of participating in such forums and organizations. You came in here. And then you went through all the challenges to an extent that you were homeless for a few days, and then you have children, you have a family to take care of, you're going through domestic abuse, and here you are. You know, your story is very inspiring, and I want you to just take a few minutes and speak about that, because it is out of that inspiration that others will get inspired. And then after that, my brother Robert will do the same, and I want you to inspire. I loved what Engineer Ambo Shai just spoke about, and his story inspires many that from the background, from 27 years of age, coming here as an international student, fighting it out to an extent of the position that he is holding today in a big institution. Very good. Dr. Ndiangui, just say something about the process of, sending help, and then Miriam will come and hammer the gospel home.
Right. As you do realize, of course, this was a session for these 4 people, and I'm admiring these stories so much. And I will join everybody to say the GoFundMe and all the other channels, the Cash Apps, everything that we have set up, we will post it in the Facebook and in everything else. And I'm sure Professor Gerono has already put that up. But of course, you got our numbers. You can always have that to be available, each one of us. But I wanted to address the international students who are listening. The purpose of bringing this particular panel is to listen to their stories. Life was never easy for any one of us, none of us. Perseverance, resilience, determination, and keeping your eye on your prize is very important. Listen to the story of Mr. Jesse Mushai. Listen to the story of Robert Shuri, who is heading the Global Standards Institute. Mushai doing all that in Cummins. Look at the resilience of Miriam, what she's doing. Look at what my brother Anthony, Come Now, is doing for the men. And we'll have a session in August 1st with Come Now, talking to the men only. Because it's important. Gentlemen, I know it's okay to do the works we do, but we must grow with the ladies too. But that will be a different story. Because, like Mushai said, our families matter, focus on that, but keep on doing what you're doing to provide for them. But there's more than just money. Right now, we are always a community. So international students, listen to me carefully. We are doing the best we can and reach out to all of us, and we'll do everything we can. But I want you to understand, life has never been easy. And it is those sufferings that make us stronger, that make, when Jesse, you are just about to quit, you say, go on. And Robert and all of us, and all the men in Anthony are providing, we are together. Yes, you go through all that, Miriam, and there are many other people who have gone through that. It's not a simple story. And this is what the message we wanted to bring with Professor Gerono, Professor Onyama, Professor Moses, the ones who were here last time. But now we want the community. Please, it's not just money also. Be there for your children. They are our children. Don't bring that nonsense of tribes. They are our children regardless of where you come from. You are right. They are our kids. They are all Kenyans. Don't bring that rubbish here. And this is a country we can have opportunities. Help your children who traveled. The cows were sold. Everything was sold for them to get here.
Thank you.
Let us save the children from the drugs and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Miriam, this is your time. Take a few minutes and tell us about your story and speak to the parents out there, the community out there. Professor Gerono has already posted the way to finance. And somebody by the name Sonny Edith Modhoni says, who knows any international student in Hampton Roads in Virginia, I can offer free accommodation for this time. That is Sonny, and I think Professor Gerono has taken up that issue so that we can get that. And Karaoke says, wow, I love this. Jen Irongo mentioned something. Please encourage our international students to check with their schools as well. Most schools have established some type of COVID relief.
Wow, I love this.
Please reduce the feedback. Most schools have established some type of COVID relief since the international systems are not eligible for the CARES Act. So, Miriam.
Well, trust the process. Thank you, Professor Diangui, for highlighting the importance of going through life by listening to other people's stories. When I first came, I came to the state of Utah, and that's where I went to school. And it snowed one time, 16 inches of snow. I had never seen snow in Kenya all my life. I had a child. I didn't know what to do. And somebody called Child Protective Services on me because I was outside with a child. We didn't have a place to stay. And long story short, we overcame all that. But we overcame all that because we shared our story, or I shared my vision with somebody. So international students should also find somebody they can confide in. I like what Dr. Shuri said. He said, share. And once you share, you break the barriers of tribalism. In America right now, we are fighting racism. Where we come from, it's about the tribe. You want to know, somebody asked me the other day, what your last name? Where are you from? I said, I'm from Kenya. It doesn't matter where I'm from, but I'm from Kenya. Because you're really digging to find out if you're going to accept my help, or I'm going to help you on the basis of my name, then let's not even do it. Let's trust the process. The other thing that I like in life knowing is that every setback, anything that sets you back, is a setup for a step up. Any student that will have a story, they'll write a book, they will have a story to tell generations to come of how we overcame COVID-19. I run an assisted living, like I said, and we've had people tested here. Fortunately, we've not had any of our elderly people that we have here, fortunately. And I say fortunately because there's so many things that happen with that. Is you isolate, some people don't want you working for them or working around them. Now I have friends that have tested positive for COVID-19. And I know of a student where I'm personally making a meal every day and taking and leaving it outside because it's a stigma. We as Kenyans know very well what HIV has done, what poverty has done. People like that end up being stigmatized. We should come to this country and know better than that, not be a part of that stigmatizing. We should know better than that. We should embrace information. We should embrace the knowledge, the skills that are set out here. I told somebody, I said, if I only knew that when I was coming to America, I was like a dry sponge that's thrown in the water. It just absorbs the water and absorbs and keeps it until it gets to saturation. Now somebody has to get it and finya it to get the water out and throw it again. I've learned to know that I'm a student of life. I don't know anything. I'm still yet to learn. And that's why I feel safe among these doctors. I'm not a doctor yet. Yes, I have a master's, but I'm not a doctor yet. I would want to be a doctor, but I feel safe around such gentlemen and Professor Chirono, because there are people that will always have an idea. I have learned so much since this group was put together. And when I found myself around them, I appreciate them more now. In fact, I don't like saying anything. I like listening more. Dr. Diangui called me and rebuked me. He said, you always should have something to input because you're a jewel as much as we are. And I said, yes, sir. I didn't think that I had something to bring. But now that I know I have something to bring, I take that. And I want, like I said, it's a culture. I've had to learn. But look, 13, 14, 15 years later is when I'm realizing that I wasted so much time going kufuatana na watu wa this tribe and this tribe. And no. I should have come and listened to the counsel of people. Even in the Bible, it says the older shall teach the younger. I don't apologize for being a Christian, so I'll always use my Christianity. But we lost the culture, especially my generation, the so-called millennial. We lost that where we listen to the older. Sometimes my dad is talking, and I was yeah. I came here and I didn't know who was gonna change the oil of my car. And if I went to a dealership, it cost at that time $80 was a lot of money. Guess what? I had to learn either to change my oil or find somebody else. I had to open up. Now, this thing of somebody was mentioning this thing of staying in cliques. I've learned more from people that I didn't know. I took an initiative and I went and said, hello, my name is Miriam. I am a nurse. My name is this. This is what I do. I would love to know your name. I would love to know what I can do to help. I've learned more by taking an initiative, but naturally I'm an introvert. I'm not one that is forthcoming, but I've learned experiences. The second thing is that I've learned to embrace any good, bad, or ugly thing that has come my way. But it hasn't been easy, like you were saying, being a domestic violence survivor and going to school and working, sometimes going to work with my child. It's been a long, long journey to get to where I am. And if I can help, if I can open my brain and give it to an international student, I would. I would give them everything I have, but everybody has to learn their own way. And if we can do anything, we're here to help. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I know there's a lot going on, and I'm so happy for you, Miriam. I know Anthony is having to take care of some business, but before, since he has just popped out, I want to appreciate the inputs from the viewers. One, Pablo Nzegu. By the way, Pablo, we are going to have a show with you. He's an attorney, and he says that as an input or for your information, F1 students also need to know they can work off campus. Requirements is that they must have remained enrolled for at least one academic year in status and in good academic standings. Please note those three statements. One, enrolled in for at least one academic year in status and also in good academic standings before CIS will authorize off-campus employment. I know and we appreciate the fact that there are no jobs. Some of us have been applying for jobs, and sometimes you get so many regrets and there's no employment, but it is important to note that. Thank you very much, Pablo, and maybe later we'll be able to discuss more in that. We appreciate and love you, Miriam Mbothe. You are a jewel who has stepped up with all your heart and soul to support our students. Thank you very much, Professor. And we'll talk more. Robert, I feel so good to have all these doctors on my show. And it would be important to mention this now, that there's a need for what I would call uzalendo or patriotism in the diaspora Kenyan community. Uzalendo in the diaspora Kenyan community. As a doctor and as a community leader, what do you have to say about the need for patriotism without mentioning I'm a Gikuyu, I'm a Luo, I'm a Luya, I am a Tanga, I am a BBI? Mention something.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In fact, you have given me a very good question, and I must say my heart is smiling because of that question you just asked me, and I'll explain why. On Thursday this week, on July 23rd, Thursday this week, we are hosting the first event called Celebrating Our Oneness and Heroes of the Diaspora. Hear that, celebrating our oneness and heroes of the diaspora. Because we have to celebrate our unity. We have to celebrate our oneness. We have to celebrate as Kenyan people, we are together. We have to celebrate that, you know what? Being whatever tribe does not add anything to you. It does not add even a single dollar into your paycheck. So tribe is nothing. What is important is Kenyanness, being a Kenyan and being one. So this week we are celebrating our oneness and heroes of diaspora. Heroes of the diaspora is people who have impacted the diaspora in a meaningful way. Maybe it might be in various fields, academic, engineering, legal work, human rights, nursing, medical, whatever field it is, we know somebody who has impacted other Kenyans, and we want to celebrate them because we must start celebrating people who are doing well. Not just looking at things that are not working well, but even celebrating people who are doing well. So we will be having a Zoom meeting hosted by KESA in which we are celebrating our oneness. This week, on Friday, July 24th, we are having what we call Youth Got Talent Festival. We are celebrating our young people in the whole of diaspora in the talents that they have. Because we know, unless we start nurturing and giving confidence to these young people in the diaspora, then we will not have a future. We need to tell them that they are doing well. Even those who are not doing very, very well, you tell them that they're doing well and they improve. So this week, please, Diaspora, be on the lookout for something we call Youth Got Talent. We hear of shows called America Got Talent. Don't you think even Kenyans have talent? We have talent, and a lot of it.
True.
And we must start celebrating it.
Thank you.
This week, on Saturday, we are celebrating our oneness in culture through Angaza Festival, Kenyan Festival. We have all the 42 tribes of Kenya on that day, on Saturday this week, hosted by Angaza Kenyan Festival. We have done this for the last 6 years, since 2016. Every year on the fourth Saturday of July, we come together as Kenyan tribes, as Kenyan communities, not caring where you are from or what you do, but you celebrate each other's culture, because we know there is something good in Luya culture, there is something good in Luo culture, there is something good in Kamba culture, in Masai, in Kikuyu, in Digo, in Giriama, and all these cultures give us something good to Kenyan culture. That is what it is. We must celebrate each other. So this Saturday, I welcome the diaspora community to watch the Angaza Kenyan Festival and celebrate something good that is Kenyan. In fact, we start by singing our national anthem, because that is what brings us together. We must not forget that. We must never forget that you are a Kenyan wherever you go, and be proud of it, because that is what brings us together. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you so much. I would request, if at all you are one of the people who are organizing some of these events, send the links on our page so that we can be able to have them right with us. Please make sure that you send us some of these links so that we can manage at least even to send a shout out. Those are very good initiatives. Very good. I want to go to Dr. Engineer Mushai. If you were to talk to the Kenyan church leaders, the Kenyan community leaders, the Kenyan community leaders in different parts of this country, I don't know, but there are some very good and very able Kenyan leaders, community leaders, but we are in our own small cocoons. Small cocoons. We know we have what it takes, but we are not able to come out as a force to be reckoned with because of some of the stereotypes that we kind of imported from Kenya and came with them. We took with them. We came with them in our minds, and we forgot to unload them and leave them at the airport. Speak to the community leaders on the plight of the international students, and not just international students, of even our students who are born here to Kenyan parents.
Thank you. First, I want to thank all the community leaders across the country. I have visited churches, I have visited various groups, and truly have seen some teams that do exceptionally well supporting their students and their communities. And of course, it's across the spectrum, right? You have one end and the other one. And my prayer would be that we would have a group that really looks at the big picture. The big picture. We came here, we the parents now. We could be Christians, we could be who we are. But we left our country and we are raising our children in this culture. We better adapt. We better adapt to I'm not saying that we compromise. There's a difference. But I'm saying help our children to adapt. Help our parents. You, the leaders, help the parents to adapt to raising their children in this culture, so that they do not get lost in the ways of this country. They do not get lost in the ways of chasing things that are not valuable. Number two, work together, collaborate. If you find yourself every Sunday, you are having a cup of tea with the same people after church, question yourself. You need to enlarge your circle of friends. Pastors, reach out to other pastors. Lay leaders, I'm a lay leader, I'm another pastor. Reach out to other lay leaders. In that way, we are able to come together for a cause like the one we have and transcend boundaries. I'm not from Ohio, I'm not from California. Transcend boundaries and see the need before us and quickly respond because it's a need by one of us in diaspora. But it will not happen as long as we are in small cliques. It will not happen as long as we are not seeing the big picture. I am part of Kenya Christian Fellowship in America. We've just bought a land in North Carolina, 72 acres. The other day we talked of setting apart 5 acres for final resting place. Not a very interesting topic, but the thing is, one of these days we are out of here, and our children, we are raising them here, need an identity. They are not Kenyans, they are Kenyan Americans. Help them, and you can only help them by even reaching out to international students who are coming in a very different time, like, rather than when we came in here many years ago. Help them get accustomed to what is going on in this world and help them write their story from the pulpit. From the pulpit, help them write their story, because if you do so, you are changing a generation.
Awesome. That is powerful, and that's a quotable quote. I know Miriam is still with us, only that she is taking care of business, and I understand. But we recently had a new ambassador, and on the 17th of July, he was able to present his letters of credence to the president, and he has promised to work and enhance a very good relationship between the Kenyans in the diaspora, in the U.S. and the government, and that's good. So I don't know the people who are serving us at the embassy in Washington. With the new ambassador, Lazarus Amayo, we have to have a working relationship, either for the international students, for the Kenyans in the U.S., and be able to export and import our experiences and our expertise, all those things. What is your message to the new ambassador and the these people who are the Washington, D.C., when it comes to the issues that touch on the students, the international students? Let me start off with Dr. Ndiangui, just for a second.
Thank you. Very good question. First of all, Ambassador Amayo, karibu. Karibu sana. We welcome you, and we thank you for taking up that position, and we thank President Uhuru for appointing you. You're a great man. We know you, and you're most welcome to the United States and Mexico. We want to remind you, we have the great ambassadors, and the greatness of those ambassadors is the ones who listen to us. They came to the areas where we are, and sometimes they invited us all in Washington. We have had some ambassadors who lived in Washington, and they did their work from their desks, and we never saw them. Don't be one of them, my friend. Come to us. Come to Trumpet of Hope. Talk to us. We are your people. We have a common goal. Like this particular group, these children we are talking about who are going hungry, they are the reason why you have that office. These people who are working very well, we are there to partner with you. If you reach out to us, we will be there for you. Karibu sana, Mr. Ambassador. I am in Florida, Fort Myers, Florida. Karibu sana when COVID allows. And I know when Robert Shioli will welcome you. Mr. Mushai will welcome you. Miriam in Idaho will welcome you. We love you. Karibu sana, and be with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Robert.
Yeah, thank you. Again, I will echo what my brother Dr. Diangoi has said. We wholeheartedly welcome the new ambassador, Lazarus Amayo. He's a great man. He has great accomplishment. And now with his new, area of influence, being here in USA and this diaspora, we ask him to join hands with us in whatever that we are doing to promote unity, to promote oneness, to promote cohesion of the diaspora. We must recognize also, the good work that his Deputy Chief of Mission, Ambassador David Gashero, has done during that time that there was no ambassador or that post had not been filled. And so he had also done a lot of work in uniting the diaspora and also listening, as Dr. Diangawi has said, listening to the needs of the people, because that office that is in DC is the one that is our liaison office with the Kenyan government. So we welcome Ambassador Amayo, and we will continue working with him. And whenever there is any moment that he needs us, we are ready to come and sit down with him and discuss the needs of the diaspora. We already have a group that is called Diaspora One Voice for the diaspora that is in the formation, also working with the Council of Elders and also working with the Association of Kenyan Diaspora Organizations, so that we can be able to speak in one voice.
Thank you.
We know we have been talking in different ways, but we want to work in one voice. Karibu, Ambassador Amayo.
Thank you very much. Remember that we are talking about the international students. They are there, they are everywhere. And as we wind up, we would make sure that we remind the people that there is a forum so that you can assist these people. And it is cut across all the states in the US. And if you want to know more about this, we have the numbers that we have already put on our page. You can be able to speak to Professor Gerono, and also there is the KSEED Foundation Cash App. The KSEED Foundation Cash App. Then there is the 336 615-1558, and there's also a GoFundMe, and all the other details, they are there on the comments on this program. International students, they mean a lot. Some of these people who have just come, they were international students at one time, and they were able to proceed on with their education, and right now they are commanding a big following in their different parts of entrepreneurship and even their work. Engineer Mushai. Thank you. I asked a question, and I know you as an engineer and one person who is leading an internationally recognized body. Before we close, your message to the new Ambassador Lazarus and the other people who are at the embassy, and I think they mean a lot. They mean a lot. I had the deputy earlier on, and I'm going to send him an official invitation to come over to the Trumpet of Hope, and I know he will be here one of these fine days. So speak to those people, those guys at the big office, and maybe some of the things that we don't know, that they don't know about international students. Do we have international students who just come in, they pop into their university or into their college, and they get swallowed into the system, and nobody knows that they are here. Nobody knows that they exist. Some of them go to universities that don't have a Kenyan lecturer or a Kenyan professor, and they are just swallowed there. They have no link to even organizations like this one. Please help us.
Thank you. And indeed, I was one of those students in Auburn, Alabama. Those who know where Auburn, Alabama is, it's Auburn University is in the deep south. And I was almost in all my classes, I was the only Black student in those classes. But Ambassador Amayo, right?
Yes,
Amayo. Welcome to the United States. We are excited at your appointment. We look forward to you visiting us and hearing our story. I like stories because stories really tell who we are. We would love to hear your story. And by so doing, you help us also tell our generation, the next generation, what does it really mean to have an ambassadorial place in DC? What services are offered there? Even my own children who are born and raised in United States, I've taken them to DC, and we would love to hear you come out, hear our stories, tell us the services that are being offered over there. We know them, yes, but hearing it from you, from your team members, it will be a great thing. I know it's a big request, and it possibly cannot be done overnight. But thank you for what you'll do. Thank you. We have a lot of hope in the new changes that have taken place. Thank you very much. And my last appeal is, we are raising funds for international students. Mr. Ambassador, we would love to receive a check from you towards this cause. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I know Miriam, please pop in so that we can have our conclusion. I know juggling between work, mother, coming in for international students. I don't know how these people do this, but we are so proud for you and the work that you do. A mother and taking care of your businesses, and that is important. So we understand when we... Welcome, Miriam. Tell us a few words as we conclude. We are winding up. This one is for international students. I'll call you to speak about being a mother and all the other things that you went through. And right now you are shining in Idaho. Is that where we grow potatoes, viazi? Eh?
This is the headquarters of potatoes.
Thank you. All right.
First of all, it's sorry to interrupt. To welcome the new ambassador. I know the outgoing one has heard all kinds of stories about. I remember coming one time to a meeting in I think it was Virginia or somewhere, strictly for international students, and people were just raising hell, and there's all these expectations. My word for him is just listen and go with the flow. See where you can offer your help. It's not complicated. Sometimes we complicate things, but in your position, I'm sure they chose you among so many other people because they could tell that you can balance things up. For international students, it's doable. It's doable to be a mother. I remember getting a visa and I didn't know how we were even gonna make it from Nairobi to Dubai, and then from Dubai to Cincinnati. I don't know how. It was such a long trip, and I when we made it here, I pinched myself because I didn't know how we made it. But guess what? She's 14 now. She's a teenager. She is opposition stiff. We get into debates about this and that. And so it's doable. It's been a journey. And today I'm enjoying the fruits. I don't think I'm where I am, but like I said, I'm comfortable being around Professor Diagui, Robert Shuri, Dr. Muchai, Professor Gerono. I mean, they have been wonderful to me. I feel like the least of among the brethren, like the Bible says. And I think what I would say is try and rub your shoulders with people that are going somewhere. Somehow you'll find yourself also getting to where you're going. But if you don't reach out, and this is a good forum by applying and reaching out. It's not everything that's solved by money. Some of them is even counseling. Some of them is finding the career that you want to do. Just reach out to somebody, and somebody will have something. Even just show you where to get the bus if you're not driving or something like that. But thank you for having us. We appreciate it. I'm sorry I was in and out, but I was here. That's the most important thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we get to the conclusions, Miriam, we have a date, and please get in touch with me. I'll get in touch with you. I know you are busy. I know there's a lot, but we're going to set up a day, preferably on a Wednesday. Then you can come and speak about being a mother in the U.S., being an international student in the U.S., and going through a domestic abuse and the challenge that put you through and how you came out shining. If you look at the screen, you are the only female there, and you're shining, and the challenges, juggling between all these. And I know it will be a beautiful show. So please promise me that. Then
this man made me shine. They've made me feel like a queen. They make me feel like, and that's the support that we're talking about. We need to support one another irrespective of who you are. If you met me 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I'm not who I was then. And so it's that support that we need. But yes, we'll get together.
Thank you. Brother Robert Shuri will have a show with you now without any other person, just you, so that I can be able to dig deeper. And there's a lot of wealth in you people. Engineer Mushai, I love your commanding voice, and that voice, we need it now on individual shows, so that we can even encourage other people to come in. Dr. Ndiangui, you are just awesome. So as we wind up, I will have maybe a minute for all of you, and then as a conclusion, as we conclude, I want you to speak to our young men and in being involved in the issues that are going on in the U.S. right now, the issues of Black Lives Matter, how they need to participate, and with a lot of wisdom too. We have seen people who have come in and participated in those forums, and they forgot that their organizations or their employers have a strict ethics and a command and rule. And then you find somebody going there, eventually he or she has gotten into trouble with the employer. Others don't have legal papers, and then they go there and flash their fingers and they say whatever, and they end up being in trouble. Challenge our people on how to participate in the issues that are going on. The other thing that I want you to, in our conclusions, to think about is forgetting where we came from, and we get swallowed by the things that are going on in here. You find the young people getting involved in drugs, alcoholism, domestic violence, and the fighting that has spoiled and destroyed their paperwork. The last thing is about being legal. If they are F1 visas and international students, the importance of remaining legal and in status here. That is important. Those three things, I don't know whether you're going to do them differently, but you can mention. We have at least a minute or two.
Captain,
yes,
you want me to start?
Yes.
Let me first of all address something that media mentioned and keeps coming to my head. I don't want it to go. When we were getting together one time, when I called her, and she said, I don't feel that important. I don't feel like I belong. And I told her, Miriam, if you ever tell me that again, we'll be in a lot of trouble. But I have been there. I know of situations where I felt more inadequate. but somebody was there to tell me, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I did it even more. I'm telling the international students hanging there, sometimes the situations in life can make you feel inadequate, can make you feel, let's say you go through those domestic violence and all the other things, maybe you fail in an exam here or something like that, or maybe you're even going hungry. You may feel like you don't belong. Yes, you do, and you're strong. In the Black Lives Matter captain, yes, we belong. I believe we are all in a turning point. But I want to tell our students and everybody, as much as we participate, do not lose sight of why you came here. Do not lose sight of your goal. Do whatever you think is best. If you want to protest, please be legal in the right way. Whether it is in Facebook, whether you're protesting, I cannot stop you. I cannot tell you what to do. But please remember, you are still a student. Your studies come first. What brought you here? You should not lose sight of it. We can be legal throughout. We don't have to destroy ourselves, and let's reach out to each other. In spite of the challenges we are going through, look at Miriam, who she is and what she has done, and all these people. Tonight, Captain, we brought this panel, and Professor Gelono wanted you to see these people behind her. These are people who went through different environments, whether it's Yuli, Mushai, Miriam, or me. I can tell you my story is a different story from Madakwine village to come here as an international. I came here as an expatriate teacher, but how I came is a different story. And I love being the father of so many kids from Africa here. I tell them, all that I need from you is get the grades. Give me the grades, I'll look for the money. And we do. Sometimes it's just by faith. But remain focused. Those short-term happiness, we've done, the drugs, the alcohol, please don't engage in self-destructive practices. People who have done that, I know some of us learned, it's just so bad. It takes you away from your goal. It destroys your life. Keep focused on what brought you here. Remember why you came and what you take back home, or even if you remain here. Thank you so much, Captain, once again. And I really applaud you. Thank you for hosting us. And international students, just keep doing what you're doing. There's hope. People are coming, and we're helping as much as we can. We'll be there for you, and reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to my brother, Robert. I'm so proud of you. And hey, give us a conclusion and on those 3 points.
Thank you, Captain, for hosting us in your show. And we also enjoy what you do, because, what you do is providing us a platform to reach out and talk to others. For international students, I want to give them a message of hope. Everybody, everyone was once a student, At whatever station of life you are once a student. And you are shaped by many things. You are shaped by education, you are shaped by your heritage, and you're shaped by environment. Those 3 things, you must always know that they are going to shape you in life. And as a student, whatever that you do, make sure that everything is geared towards your purpose. You must have a purpose-driven academic life. What do you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve it? Make sure that you're following whatever that your professors are leading you into. Whatever the environment you're in is leading you to. Whatever your parents or guardians or people who are close to you are telling you. Because all these things matter. All these things matter. And even if you are going to go out there and make some protestation, do it with a level of understanding that, hey, am I doing this in a way that it may hurt me, or it may hurt our image, or whatever that might be. Always do something with a lot of consideration and thought. And lastly, always know that even little challenges that you go in life mean something. If you missed a meal one day, it doesn't mean that is the end of everything. Mm-hmm. You can miss a meal today, but tomorrow you are going to get it. Because they always say that Whatever does not break you makes you stronger, makes you stronger. So if you lose something today, you're going to gain it tomorrow. So so these things that you're going through are temporary. That's all that I'm trying to say here. Have the bigger picture. Work on it. Even if it means looking for small jobs here and there that you can be able to earn something. Some of us even started menial jobs here in America. We were cutting grass. We were washing cars at one time. And look at what we are doing now. At least we are not doing that now. We are much better now. We have improved our lifestyle and livelihood. So what you are going through is temporary, and you will be able to overcome it. Just be more focused and try to see that you come together in communities that you are, so that you can help each other. Thank you so much, Captain, for this, and thank you for the rest of the panel for your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Engineer Mashai.
Thank you, Captain. It's been a great time spending with these three gentlemen, plus yourself and Miss Miriam. It's just wonderful. A lot of lessons to learn from here. To the international students, we are here for you. We will continue fighting for you. We will continue standing in the gap for you. We will continue speaking out for you. But as we do so, you have a responsibility. In this life, as you listen to the stories of this panel, they made choices in their lives, and choices makes champions. It is you as to choose. What choices are you going to make? You either make you a champion, or they will make you a failure. Choices make champions. So make the right choices. When you go out there, whether it's our own children or the international students, to support Black Lives Matters, I always remind my children, this is a journey. We just came and joined a lot of people in a long journey. I just want to make a dent in this journey. I may not be the one to complete the journey, because in the process, I want to take care of my family. So make the right choices, even as you support Black Lives Matters. I support them. I lead a group in my church on racism and biases, conscious and unconscious. But at the same time, I tell my family, it's a journey. It's a journey, and long after I'm gone, the journey will continue. When it comes to forgetting where we come from, please don't. Don't forget who we are. Don't forget where we've come from. Remember your roots. It grounds you. It grounds you, even in a classroom. When I got an F in one of my dynamics classes, I did not quit. I came back to the same professor the next semester. Same professor. What were the odds that I was going to pass? But I did pass, because I knew I'm not a quitter. I am not of that kind. So make a conscious decision that no matter what mountains are ahead of me, no matter what valleys are ahead of me, I will not quit. I will fight. I will not quit. I will fight. I will make the right choices, because then I will be a champion. So be legal. One of the reasons I went for my doctoral program was I was either going to go back to school or lose my status. I chose to go back to school. And after that, company hired me, filed for my green card, and I'm a US citizen now. So we fight for you, but fight for yourselves without giving up. Captain, thank you for opening this forum for us. Again, I plead to all my friends who are listening, please donate $10, $50, $100. Please give towards this cause. There is full accountability. Applications close next week, I believe. Mm-hmm. And if you read some of the problems that we have seen, you will shed a tear. And the chances are we will not meet all those needs. Please support. Accountability, full We will post all the monies, the recipients, how much was raised, and how much gets to which person. Be confident of that even as you support us. Thank you very much and have a good night. Thank you very much, the panelists.
Thank you so much. To close us off is Miss Miriam, because like Engineer Mushai said, ladies first, and let the ladies close.
By the way,
Yes,
Captain,
yes.
1 minute before Miriam closes, because there'll be nobody talking after that.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the first round. What Mr. Mushai talked about, we will continue. We need more support because we have seen the needs are so many, and we must be there for all these children. So we're asking the community, please keep going. Help our students. Help us to help them. We are team together. Miriam, thank you.
I think what you were, Dr. Diangui, what you were saying is important. I think the main reason we came here is to find ways of supporting students, and the main thing here is money. I only have two points to make. One is who's an ambassador, and two, confidence. An ambassador is a representative. I remember when I was coming here, my father told me, you're a representative of our family. If they see you, they see me. If they see you, they see your mother. They see you, they see your brothers and sisters. So when you go pick up a Black Lives Matter manila paper, remember who you're representing. You're not only representing your family, you're representing your country, you're representing whoever who sent you. That's the work of an ambassador. I was on deportation and removal proceedings because of being in a domestic violence situation. It took me 6 years to get those proceedings removed and for me to live a normal life. So I survived doing menial jobs, this and that, no work permit, nothing under the table. I'm a US citizen now. It was not easy. But one of the things I did was clean, cook, arrange, decorate, clean houses, and do everything. I'm not saying that you don't do the right thing, but I'm pro staying in status, because if I knew that, even coming with a family here would derail me, I probably should have made a better choice of leaving them back home. It's good that people talk because you get advice from other people. The second thing is confidence. Sometimes we don't have the confidence. I got rebuked by my father, Dr. Diangui, because I didn't think that I would mean anything to this group until they heard my story and they said, no, we need you here because you're the freshest, you're the newest, and you're still continuing. After I had my son, who is 5, I'm still going back to school because you never stop being a student. And that's where I've encountered international students. And like they're saying, some of the problems you encounter, you don't know who to call or what to do because it's beyond you. But the confidence that you have to just say, you know what, I will do this, I will help, I will reach out, I will give $50, I'll give $100 is the most important thing, is believing in yourself. Mm-hmm. As an international student to being an American citizen, it's not an easy journey. It's a tough journey. And somebody said, appreciate the journey, but walk the journey and have confidence. But remember, you're an ambassador. You're here to represent them. The new ambassador in Washington, D.C. is representing the Kenyan government. And so whatever we say or whatever he says, we know that he's saying on behalf of the president, on behalf of the ministers, on behalf of this and that. And he has to be careful what he's promising, because if it's not delivered, there's a backlash. So for me, it's two things. It's confidence, and I am an ambassador of the Kenyan students. I'm an ambassador of mothers, of a domestic violence survivor, of an international student who was in front of an immigration judge who almost ordered my deportation. And I asked for a chance to go back to school. And from school, I got work. And from work, I'm self-employed, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm enjoying my life. So it's doable, but you have to remember who you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we all close, thank you so much. I know we have already finished. I want to appreciate Dr. Chieri. I want to appreciate Dr. Ndiangui. I want to appreciate Engineer Mushai. I want to appreciate Miriam. That is powerful. Thank you very much, Anthony Kamnau. I know you are taking care of a business back there. I understand. So can you please,
Yes.
Miriam was the one closing, but since you came in, just say your final remarks. We only have a minute before 11 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Right. I wanted to come back and just pay respect to the co-host, you, Captain. Thank you. And also to pay respect to all my fellow Kenyans, the people who are working so hard. Thank you, committee, for helping international students. I love you guys. My son, my 6-year-old is saying, my 6-month-old is saying hi to responsibility, because I want to be like you. I want to be like Robert. I want to be like Dr. Peter, being a good dad, an example. And we've talked about that. Thank you, Captain. Kazi Kwako. We'll talk more. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Let's give money. I can't wait to see your money. Whatever you donate, I'm gonna match. I'm gonna match that.
That's the spirit.
Good job.
So
Thank you very
Toronto,
much. Hey, thank you.
whatever you Captain give you, match here. Asante.
Thank you, KSID Foundation. It's the $ KSID Foundation 336-615-1558. This is for international students. Hey, come now. Thank you and say hello. Umejua nia terere kidogo. Unajua kama
Oh, come on. Gege koyo. Original. Gege koyo mono. Eke. Ango Kikuyu bwana, ango miketo bwana, iketo maneno.
Hey guys, kwaherini.
Okay, asante.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Asante sana. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, that was the International Students Forum, and I want to really appreciate everybody who participated. Let's continue doing this because it is important. This is important. So may God bless you so much for taking time to listen to that particular show, that particular segment, and we proceed on with doing whatever we have to do. It is very encouraging when I see Kenyans who came in here as international students, some of them giving very painful, sad stories. Thank you very much, Professor Gerono Rotich, for being an ambassador. Yes. Thank you for being an ambassador and leading from the front. Madam Professor Gerono Rotich, the ambassador of Kenyan students, you are rockstars. Asanteni sana. And we continue doing this together because it pays. We continue doing this together because it pays. I am so honored to have all of you. I can't add anything. Remember the foundation, the KSID Foundation. You can Google a lot of information. You can talk to Professor Gerono. That is the number, and you can there's a lot that you can do.